Let me tell you something uncomfortable, fire starters. Your dating profile is foreplay, and most men are terrible at foreplay. You don't get rejected because you're unattractive. You get ignored because your profile doesn't create any tension. Most of you are out here looking like a LinkedIn headshot had a midlife crisis. Online dating is the only place where you can be standing naked in front of desire and still turn her off with your words. My dudes, it is a digital tragedy. Today, I'm going to show you how to stop being digitally limp, baby, and start signaling the kind of value that makes her phone feel heavy in her hand. Buckle up, boys. All right. In the first segment today, I'm going to give you a plug and play profile framework, and it's research backed, baby. It increases your matches immediately. We're moving past the nice guy bio that read like a grocery list of boring traits. By the end of this episode, I'm going to go ahead and give you the full strategic blueprint, the one that I give all of my clients. This is going to help you dominate the online dating world without manipulation, without lies, and without selling your soul, my guys, because you know that's what it's all about. We're turning the app from a graveyard of hey into a playground of possibility, baby. Come on now. Let's get this. All right. So let's get practical really immediately here, right? Your profile isn't a resume, my dudes. It is a trailer for a movie she actually wants to watch. Look, your profile must do three, three things, three psychological things before she is ever going to swipe right, my guys. Number one, you have got to signal safety. She needs to know you aren't a subterranean creature living in your parents' basement, my dude. Come on now. Look, you also have got to create some curiosity. You've got to create the curiosity, right? Give her a reason to ask why instead of, so what? Number three, imply sexual polarity without stating it like a creep, right? Look, guys, I hate to say this, but if you miss even one of these, attraction collapses before she even finishes the swipe. Now, studies on thin slicing, right, where people make these like really quick sort of snap judgments in under 1 second, and it's really based on almost no information. I mean, the environment is sort of pouring the stuff in. You're making these quick sort of judgments, right? Well, research on sexual selection shows that women actually prioritize things like confidence, emotional intelligence, and social competence over raw looks in long term context, right? So, online dating compresses these signals into photos, text, making presentation really, really important, right? More important than the traits themselves, right? You've got to show these things in your photos because of that thin slicing. Otherwise, the book is being judged and the cover's not that great. All right. So, what is the actual profile formula bio structure, right? I want you to copy this, right? This is your practical, grounded identity statement, right? So, you're going to say something like, I build X, I value Y, and I move through the world Z way. All right. I build X, I value Y, I move through the world Z way. All right. X, Y, and Z. You also want to show some social proof without bragging, right? Usually found doing blank with blank. That's it. Simple. Open loop curiosity hooks. Still deciding if blank makes me interesting or dangerous? This works because the brain hates unfinished stories. This is the Zeigarnik Effect, a well-documented psychological principle where the mind obsesses over things that are incomplete. Use it. This is why you may be an open book, But you're only open to page 1, baby. Leave some curiosity. Come on, man. You want her to read that book. You don't want to give her the plot twist, and the ending on day 1. You might try something like this. Builder by day, philosopher by accident. Usually found lifting heavy things or finding the best tacos in the city. Still deciding if my confidence comes from discipline or trouble. Now, come on now. You're telling her what you do. You like to lift. You like to go out and get tacos. It's something simple. You're talking about your confidence, your discipline, your trouble. It's nice. It's a good one. Now, for all of you guys out there that are saying like, oh my God, but I just can't stand this new world, this digital dating world. Look, guys, technology did not kill dating. It just removed the accountability and replaced it with a buffet of maybe next. Right? If you're feeling frustrated, you aren't crazy. You're just playing a rigged game without the manual. But boys, I'm here to give you the manual today, at least part of it. All right, so what is this? What is the stuff we're talking about here? What are the problems? Well, number one, there's this thing called choice overload, and it was looked at by Leininger and Lepper, right? So they said that choice overload reduces satisfaction and follow through, right? I mean, your dopamine systems are activated by novelty, not depth. And every time you click, every new person is something new, novelty, right? There's no depth there. And this is why it's so important to make sure those pictures are really sort of like, right on. Dating apps condition users to chase stimulation over connection. That's the problem with dating in this digital world, right? But that's why I'm here, guys. We utilize these things. A weak man takes ghosting personally. Right? He sits by his phone like a Victorian widow, right, waiting for the ship that sank 3 weeks ago. A grounded man understands the environment and adapts without bitterness. Look, you do not manipulate attention, my guys. You invite it. You are the destination, not the solicitor. And you have to start viewing yourself like this, right? Your dating app profile is basically your first impression. It's the book's cover, right? And it better be good. You wonder why they're not swiping right on you? Take a look at these profiles because I've seen them. We're talking fish pics. We're talking shirts off, selfies with the mirror. Guys, you're impressing your bros, I guess. You're not impressing the ladies. Look, if your messages try to convince them, they fail. If they try to assume something, they seduce. Stop asking for permission to be interesting. Be yourself. So here are a few scripts. This is what you guys want. I know this is the stuff that you love. All right, script 1, the calm assumption. You seem like trouble in the best way. This works because it assumes value instead of asking for permission. It triggers self-concept response. She feels invited to define herself. You didn't call her trouble, right? You suggested it and let her volunteer the evidence. It's like setting a trap, but with better lighting. Right? I mean, the word clarify positions you as calm, selective, not impressed. And then we've got script 2, the playful frame control, right? You could say something like, quick question, are you more spontaneous fun or dangerously organized? Now, this gives her 2 attractive choices, right? Both wins. It's an approach pull, right? Choice framing increases response rate versus open-ended question, right? Always give sort of a choice in these early questions, especially, right? Because it makes someone want to answer them. They feel, again, that unfinished question needs to be answered. Either way, you're already flirting, right? You're already flirting. One's just color-coded. Everyone loves a sexy spreadsheet. All right, script number 3, the polarity builder. You strike me as someone who enjoys intensity, but only if it's earned. This signals standards, not neediness, right? And we know that attraction increases when someone demonstrates discernment. And the bottom line is you didn't offer intensity, right? You implied an application process. She has to work for that fire, baby. Come on now. Earn suggests mutual investment, which builds intrigue. I mean, this thing is packed with psychology. In one little statement, my guys. There's also script 4, disqualification, the power move, right? I'm not sure we'd get along. You look like you don't flirt back. This is reverse psychology without manipulation. I mean, the bottom line is scarcity increases perceived value. You didn't insult her, you challenged her competitive spirit. And most women will immediately try to prove to you that they are the best flirter ever. Humans are motivated to restore positive self image. That's what we do. So when you say a line like this to her, it activates that little primal sort of competitive side, right? She wants to prove you wrong. And then there's this thing, script 5, time compression. You're interesting. Let's see if that holds up over coffee, right? This moves things towards real world interaction really quickly. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Prolonged texting, it decreases perceived chemistry. It ruins your chances. Enough with being her pen pal. Look, texting is the trailer, right? Coffee is the movie. Don't spend 6 weeks on the trailer. Nobody wants to see a film that spoiled the ending in the first 10 minutes. Guys, get her out on the date. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. If you like her, go for it. If she shoots you down, go for it again. If she shoots you down twice, get out. Find a new one. Confidence shortens the courtship window, my dudes. Confidence. It doesn't matter if she tells you no. It doesn't matter. You can always find someone new. There are millions and billions of people out there. Come on now. Script 6, the emotional intelligence signal. What's something people misunderstand about you? Now, this invites vulnerability without oversharing. And guys, we know that emotional disclosure increases connection when it's reciprocal. Congratulations. You just became emotionally literate. You're now ahead of like 90% of the guys up there in her inbox. They just sent the "you up" at 2 a.m. I mean, they're losing it, dude. Depth questions create contrast. They create contrast against these generic openers that all of these other guys are using. That contrast signals tension. It signals curiosity. You become magnetic. All right, scripts number 7, masculine grounding. Look, I don't text forever. I prefer chemistry in real life. I mean, this sets the boundary early, right? It's really attractive. Look, you're saying, look, I've got boundaries. I've got expectations. And this helps to reduce her anxiety and ambiguity. You want to have some tension, but you also want to make sure that tension is then followed up with very clear expectations. If she hates this line, she was never going to meet you anyway, right? You just save yourself 3 weeks of thumb cramps and disappointment, my guys. Breadcrumbs from somebody that doesn't even really want to get to know you to see who you are? Forget it. Women often respond positively to decisiveness in ambiguous environments. It shows that leadership that I always talk about here on Plant the Spark, my dudes. Come on now. This is simple stuff. This is light work. And now let's get to light sexual innuendo, right? Not explicit. You don't want to be some perv here, dudes. You look like you'd be distracting as hell in conversations, baby. This creates sexual energy, right? Without any graphic language. Suggestion is more powerful than description. You didn't say how she's distracting. Her imagination did the work. Let her mind go to the place yours already is headed. The brain fills in the gaps more vividly than explicit statements. Keep it vague, right? So again, it's that polarity I always talk about. Vagueness, directness, directness, tension, safety, right? You want polarity. You can't be a one-trick pony, my dudes. Come on now. You know this. All right, script number 9, the curiosity loop. Remind me to tell you why I smiled when I saw your profile. I mean, this uses the Zeigarnik effect that we talked about earlier, right? Unfinished stories. Remind me to tell you something about your profile that made me smile. I mean, come on now. It's an open loop. It creates engagement. You planted a thought. Yeah, baby. You didn't harvest it yet, but you planted it. Now she's checking her phone every 10 minutes to see if you've reminded her of what it was, right? Delayed gratification increases interest. This is one of my favorites. One of my favorites. Now, script 10. Here's the exit power, right? You say something like, I'm really enjoying this. But I'll let you get back to your life. We'll continue this later. Right. This shows an abundance mindset, and she's gonna get hot for you, man. If you turn off first and you just leave, I mean, nothing drives curiosity like a man who knows when to leave. Be the guy who hangs up first every single time. You stop texting first, right? It is a power move for the modern age, and you're not doing it to manipulate or to dominate. You are showing her you've got other things going on. You've got a life, you've got boundaries, right? And you are going to always stick to them because you have a mission in life, right? Emotional restraint signals maturity and self control, right? Yeah, you could probably get her in the bed that night, but you don't need to, right? Play the long game. See if she's worth your time in the long run, right? Especially after the first day, guys. Come on now. All right. Now, here's what most men never actually learn. Success is not an accident. And I know a lot of you manosphere red pill dorks, right? You're yelling about women and society and how bad it is and how it's always hurting you. Guys, success is architecture, right? It is architecture. You have to have the online dating trifecta: profile optimization, message polarity, logistical leadership. Miss one, the whole house of cards falls down. All of it wiped out. You put all this time and effort in, and then boom, it's gone. In my digital online dating success manual, I break this into a step by step system, my dude. Photos that stop the scroll, bios that create must meet energy, and messaging trees that lead directly to the first date without the pen pal phase. Come on, boys. This isn't about tricking women into liking you. It is about becoming the man whose presence translates, even through a screen. Guys, I've been saying this all along. In almost every video for the last 2 months, I have been pounding this into your head, guys. Ethical masculinity means clear intent, emotional regulation, and sexual confidence, right? There's no pressure. No pressure. It's all about being relaxed and in your frame. It's about being a man of high value who doesn't need to shout it. Look, if you're tired of guessing, right? If you're tired of the ghosting, and if you're tired of wondering why boring guys are winning, go to my website, grab the online dating success digital manual today. Guys, I'm not bringing you trash here, right? This is built from 20 plus years of experience. It is built from real results from multiple clients, including myself. I'm Mike. You don't have to be louder, guys. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room to plant that spark. You need to be clearer. Plant the spark and let the attraction do the rest. Out.